Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It says a whole bunch of stuff in a relatively small space, and just like you asked, it's the 26 centimeter band for around your forearm, and I'm really excited to show you what I've done with this design, and I know you've been waiting a long time and hope you find it worth the wait. With that being said, I actually want to show you kind of what the finished thing looks like and talk about the design more than the explanation of how it says what it says for a little bit right here. When I export the design, each chunk looks like this. And this actually links up. So here's the end. Well, here's the last little bit of our last word here. And then this is the first bit of the last word. And they link up right here. So these are what the actual finished design thing looks like. This is your 26 centimeter long strip of the whole phrase. I just wanted to show what it looks like when it links up. Bam. Like that. Well, they're not in row. There we go. Okay. Bam. So you can kind of see the little tiny gap there, but everything lines up, so that way you can make one continuous bracelet around your arm. So yeah, in this design, I definitely play with sentence structure. Finding the word order is very difficult, but all the words are right and in the right place. The biggest stylistic thing I did that could make reading very difficult is directly overlapping the words with each other. So instead of leaving a gap between this V and this next sentence circle, I directly overlapped it so that this is the shallow divot for the V on never. Same thing here on this R, that V. If there's an overlap that isn't supposed to be a shallow divot, I do this, where I blank out, like I leave a gap between our word. But yeah. So here's a little close-up zoom of the design. Here's where the word order is really crazy. So this is remember. Hate is always foolish, and then remember, love is always wise. So that's a thing, all of that direct overlap. But honestly, it is remarkably legible. I know you said you not told me not to worry about it, but I still wanted to make the words true, and like say what they're supposed to say. But yeah, I can expand this as Scotch. I'm gonna re-export it after this video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to reading it. So, here's our start marker. The start marker is quite necessary in this design because if it links up perfectly, you wouldn't know where to start without the start marker. So here's the start marker, and our first letter of our first word is a full circle that's inside our word circle with one line on it, so that's the N. Here's the little vowel for the E. This shallow divot has one line ending on it, so that's the V, E, and this shallow divot has 3 dots, that's the R, so never. Here we have a deep divot with one vowel on it, so that's a B, and then an E. Then bottom here, 2 dots on the K, 3 dots on the R, U line going outwards, E, L with 3 dots. And I did the C swaps in this because, yay, if I don't have to be super to the T, every C is a C, I'm gonna choose to do S's and K's because I like the OG script, and that's how it should be. It's Sirkles to spell circles and circles, so yeah. Here's another N, E, shallow divot for the V, E, 3 dots on the R, never. I'm just gonna trim this a little scotch, just to make it more obvious that there's a gap there and there. So never. Then we have this deep divot with a B, no modifiers on it, E, and then 2 dots on the K, O, 2 lines on the W, A, R with 3 dots, D with 3 dots, L with 3 dots, Y with 2 dots, so there's the never be cowardly. And then we have A and D, Never space Ever, Eatpears. I put the never ever eat pears in here. And here we have RE. This is an interesting letter stack. We have 2 letters that are the same thickness, so it's the same letter twice. And these are both the letter M. And then this E has a slash through it, bringing me up in front of one of the M's, so MEMBER. So remember. HA shallow divot T E I shallow divot 3 lines is 2 lines on the W. Y has 2 dots. S has 1, 2, 3 lines. These lines are sneaky. See how this line curves? It ends both here and here though, so it counts 2 places, and then the third one counts there. So always F 1, 2, 3 lines. O 3 dots. L I line going inwards. SH has 2 dots. Foolish. And remember, LO shallow divot for the V. I S with 3 lines. And then A outside the word circle. L with 3 dots. This 1, 2 line does end on this W. A Y with 2 dots. This shallow divot is the S with 3 lines. W 1, 2 lines. I S with 3 lines. E. So love is always wise. A L 2 lines on the W. A Y 2 dots. S T R Y with 2 dots. T O B E. So always try to be 1 line here on the N. I line going inwards. So N I 1, 2, 3 lines on the S E. So nice. Again, I did the C swap because I did the C swap in this because I wanted to B U line going outwards. T shallow divot no modifiers. N E V E 3 dots. R never. F 1, 2, 3 lines. A I line going inwards. L with 3 dots. T O B E. K with 2 dots. I line going inwards, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on the ND. So that's never failed to be kind. And when it links back up, so here's where it links up again. See my little slash. This doesn't interfere with the word kind. You can still read the full word kind on the other side. This period is on our sentence circle, even though it looks like a U by itself, but it's on a sentence circle. So that is the period at the end of everything. So yeah. That's that design. I am quite pleased with it. Reading through it one more time again. There is never be cruel, never be cowardly, and never ever eat pears. Remember, hate is always foolish. Remember, love is always wise. So I guess it doesn't have the comma and, it just kind of branches off from the one foolish bit. So there's some artistic liberties, because I didn't want to put another, there's an and there. You don't need multiple ands. And is a stupid word. You don't need it. It's irrelevant. Remember, love is always wise. ALW, always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. So yeah, that's that design. I hope you like it. And I, again, apologize for the wait, but I hope you find it worth the wait. And I'm quite pleased with this. It definitely fits the same style and aesthetic that I think you were wanting, with the contained within a thing, just like the door that you referenced in liking on my examples. And I'm really happy with how it links up and how it kind of ebbs and flows. I think it'll make a great tattoo for you. Yeah. Things that I expect to go funky in the tattoo and kind of blur together are remember. This remember bit is going to be really tight and tough to make work. I think I gave enough room on these whiteout areas where there's the white in the middle and the black on the outside for them to be doable. This is going to get kind of funky with the overlap. It might look like maybe line modifiers on one of these instead of 2 independent circles. I tried to, let me expand a tiny scotch more. There, now it's more likely to be a K and an L instead of not that. I kind of want that to touch. Do I want to shift things that much to make it do that thing? No, not really. Because then that will be obnoxious. What if I just do that? And then do this. Yay, micro adjustments. Okay. Never ever eat pears. Pears are good though. It's tragic. Don't listen to the doctor's advice. It's terrible. Um, so I have some of these as unpointy nubbins, while some of them are specifically pointy nubbins. It's mostly the thick ones, because I want them to look pointy and not rounded. But little things like this that are 0.7 millimeter, it's just gonna be one pass of the tattoo artist's needle. So I'm not too worried about that. I might thicken this line up a bit. There. Now that intersection feels less jarring, and it feels like more of the space here is used. Cool. I'm happy with that. We're gonna scooch out the A a little bit. We don't need to have it touching, because there's nothing else that it could be a part of. Okay. Like this one, I want it touching, so it looks like it's part of the word always, and isn't part of the word is. And this one I want a little bit closer to the hate as opposed to the love. Gotta love A's and their uncooperativeness. Okay, that's enough fiddling. I fiddled with it enough. It's good. It's fine. It looks good. Okay. And it's accurate. I can export it now, and I can be happy and that it is done and it is good, and I'm very pleased with how it looks. So yeah, bye.